welcome to another running vlog. Don't worry, I'm not injured or anything. You might think that looking at me in my attire, but I am getting myself and getting my stuff ready to go out for a run. And coming up later on in this vlog, I'll be telling you about a brand new challenge that I'm going to be setting myself. It's kind of the first thoughts of the challenge. It's not a fully formed challenge yet, but I'll tell you my thought processes. But this week, I'm going to be reminiscing about last week's video. Now, if you didn't see last week's video, I didn't really tease it in the video title, so you might have skipped it. I managed to achieve last week my goal for 2020, my latest challenge, which was to get to a half marathon. So if you haven't seen that video, there is a link to it in the video description below. And if your device supports it, then is it up there? One of these sides. There's a link to that video there as well. Now, let's talk about that run. Let's talk about, as I get ready to go on today's run, let's reminisce a little bit about last week and about the monumental achievement of getting to a half marathon. So the first thing that occurred to me really was that when I did the 10K, and if you've been following me for a while, you will know that the 10K I did as a special event, and it was the first organised event really that I'd ever been to. And that made it really extra special, I think. Even though I didn't speak necessarily to any of the people, they didn't know any of the people who were on the event, it was nice to be doing the event with them. It just kind of felt that everybody was pulling in the same direction. And I think also for that one, I'd had an injury scare and I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it. So it made the whole thing that much more important, I suppose, that much more of an event, the fact that I've made it at all. And as friends and family came down to support me as well, which was really nice of them. And the whole thing was just great from start to finish. If you saw that video, I even perhaps got a little bit emotional towards the end. I'm a bloke, but I can admit that. It was just such a big thing, especially for somebody who'd spent their whole life just basically slouching on the sofa and not really going out and running at all, doing any kind of fitness. So it was such a big thing. It was great. It was so good. And the thing about the half marathon was that I didn't have any of that. It was just me and the challenge, and there was nobody kind of there, and it wasn't an event. And please don't think that I'm trying to kind of put a downer on what was a major achievement. I'm still really chuffed, but as a lot of other YouTube runners that I watch have commented on this as well, and that is that we're kind of all missing the chance to go out, even if it's just to go to a park run or something. It's just nice to share it sometimes with other people. So hopefully sometime in 2021, certainly the news at the time I'm recording this, it looks quite promising on the vaccine front. So, let's hope that it's not a million miles away and we can all kind of be positive and think of the future. But that was the first thing that occurred to me. Let me tell you a little bit about what happened on that run. And I started off, I ran along the whole of the Bournemouth seafront, if you kind of know that area. And when I started off at an end that's called Hengistbury Head, and I ran all the way along past Boscombe Pier, and it's another couple of miles from there to Bournemouth Pier, ran along Bournemouth Pier a bit, and then went all the way along to a place called Camford Cliffs. Now, Camford Cliffs is the kind of the posh end of town, if you like. So you need a lot of money to live there. It is one of the most expensive places to live on the planet. Harry Redknapp lives there, and I wouldn't want him to set one of his bulldogs on me, so I kind of turned round. The thing is, I made a bit of a schoolboy error, because as I turned round at Camford Cliffs, the distance that I'd gone at that point was 11.9k. Now, you don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that if I then ran back to my starting point, I would have done somewhere in the region of 24k. And obviously that is a lot further than where I was going, which was 21 and a bit. So when I said that, I'm going to be about 10-15 minutes back to the car, it was actually half an hour back to the car. Yeah, schoolboy error. And the other problem was that you will have seen in the video that it was dusk, it was getting dark, it was a nice sunset, which was really nice, but it got dark as I was walking back to the car. I was wearing something not dissimilar to what I'm wearing now, which is a quick shot of the legs, quite short shorts and t-shirt, And of course, when it gets dark, especially this time of year, November, it starts getting cold. And yeah, you can well understand that I started getting cold myself. And when I got back to the car, I was properly shivering. I mean, I was really, really cold, and really real schoolboy stuff, and such an idiot. Anyway, I had layers on in the car that I'd left in the car that I could put on, and as I was driving home, I sort of gradually clocked up a little bit of heat and try and sort of warm myself up gradually. But even then, I was still really, really cold, so which was not good. It was a schoolboy error. A bit of basic maths would have told me not to go as far as Camford Cliffs, but there we go. That's what I did. So that wasn't good. But I thought, I want to be honest in these videos, so yeah, I'm going to tell you when I make massive mistakes like that. So anyway, when I got home, had something to eat. That helped, made me feel much better. And while my dinner was going down, I edited the video that you saw last week, and then I had a bath. Now I should probably have had a cold bath because they're quite good for recovery, but I didn't. I had a normal bath, but it was still good, still made me feel a lot better. And basically everything was okay. My muscles felt fine. I felt fine in myself, apart from my left knee joint, not the kneecap, the knee joint, and that felt quite sore actually. So what I did was I thought, well, I will kind of rest up on it. So I still went out to the dogs for a walk on subsequent days, and I still did my sit-stand desk thing, but I decided not to do any running. I'm out of breath. So what I did is I've left it a whole week, and it's now the following Wednesday. Today's it's Armistice Day. It's the 11th of November, and this is my first run since the half marathon, and I'm just going to go out today and do a 5k. Now the knee actually feels fine. By the weekend it felt fine. I was walking like a bit of an old man on Thursday and Friday, but by the weekend it felt fine. So I think I'll be okay, but just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to do 5k today. That's if I don't collapse from being out of breath. So let's get cracking, do the 5k, and then on the other side I will tell you all about my thoughts of a new challenge. There we are, run complete, 5k, 2 hours less than my last run. Over 2 hours in fact. You'll see the times on the screen. It was about 32 minutes, and I did 2 hours 35 last week. Now the knee was grumbling a little bit, in exactly the same place as it was after my half marathon, so that confirms to me anyway that I did the right thing to leave it a whole week. And yeah, I need to kind of watch that. I need to keep an eye on that because I just do. But I pushed through and got some of 5k, so I'm happy. I can only be happy with that. So what am I going to do for my next challenge? Well, one of the things that I've thought for a long time, and if you've been watching these videos a while, you will know this, is that I am a bit of a tortoise and not a hare. When I'm running, other people tend to go past me, and part of the reason for that is that when I set myself challenges, I like to run for the whole distance, whatever that may be, 5k, 10k, half marathon, whatever it is. Whereas some people will be happy to go for a bit, stop, walk for a bit, and then start again. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, absolutely nothing. I can remember when I did the 10k event, I kept seeing these two women, and then I wouldn't see them for a bit, and then suddenly they were there. I thought, what's going on? And after a few kilometres, I worked out what they were doing. They were running, and they were running faster than me, but then they were stopping and walking and having a chat and enjoying the whole experience, and then they started running again. And yeah, that's fine. What's wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with that. But for me, as part of the challenge, as part of making it a challenge, I like to start and then go. If I stop, then I stop. It's as simple as that. But that means that I tend to kind of regulate how fast I'm running, and that does make me quite slow. So as a new challenge, what I would like to do is to try and do something about this, to try and build up the speed. And there's no doubt that I think that is going to be quite a difficult challenge. I can remember, if you've been watching these videos a while, you might recall that I set myself a short challenge where I tried to get my 5k time below 30 minutes. And it was really hard. When I was sort of cutting, at one stage I was cutting sort of minutes off. But once I got down to sort of 33, 32 minutes, cutting that last bit of time off was really, really hard, and even down to cutting a few seconds off got really difficult. And I suppose it's because I've got a kind of a naturally comfortable running speed that I do, and obviously how I run determines that. So I might need to look at like my whole demeanor, my stride length and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know how far I can really tweak that. I'm worried also if I do too much in the way of tweaking it, maybe I will injure myself. So I've got to kind of be a bit careful here. I don't think it's necessarily speed, it's probably style, it's probably how I run. So I need to think about it. As far as distances go, I don't know really. I'll probably start off with 5k, and perhaps a goal, a challenge would be to do 10k in less than an hour. And I have done 102-ish before. So I'm not a million miles off, but I'm under no illusion that locking that 2 minutes off will be really, really hard. So anyway, that's my challenge. Clearly what I want to do first of all is to get over this little niggle in my knee. I was hoping today I would run and I wouldn't feel it at all, but I could feel it. So I'll probably be doing some shorter runs and probably not picking up the speed for a little while until I'm happy that has settled down. Anyway, enough waffle from me. I just want to say thank you to everybody for your kind comments to last week's video, all the support and everything. That really does make a difference, actually. Having you having my back really helps, and has helped push me through, and has helped me to get as far as I've got in this, 2.5 years. That's all I've been running for. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. So as usual, if you've enjoyed watching this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Shake it off.